Hello, hello, hello. How's it going, everyone? Am I live? I think I am. I think I am. Who's ready for FP3 and qualifying later on for the Singapore Grand Prix? Let's go, everyone. Let's go. It's my birthday as well, if you didn't know. So I hope you guys bought plenty of cake and, yeah, plenty of well wishes. Hey, Steve. Hey, Steve. It's Scott. Scott. Who's Steve? Welcome, though, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Levy. Thank you, Anthony, Peter, Rob. Thank you. Yeah, old bastard. I know. I know. I'm getting there, Rob. 33 today. 33, guys. I know I don't look it. I know. Stop it. Stop it. I know. 21. Oh. Thank you, Nerja. I mixed up my name with someone else's. That's okay. All is forgiven. All is forgiven. But yes, thank you, everyone, for tuning in for this beautiful Saturday. Well, it's not quite beautiful weather out here in the UK, but it looks like it's much better out in Singapore. So yes, FP3 ahead of us. Have Red Bull been able to figure out their woes? We'll see in this session. And is it still going to be, as we saw yesterday, Ferrari, in particular Leclerc, and McLaren, particularly Norris, who are leading the charge and look like they're going to be the two fighting it out for pole position this afternoon? We will see. Important session ahead of us, guys. Almost got the same birthday, Justin. Almost. No, mine's unique as well. Mine's got its own song. Do you remember 21st night of September? That's about as much as I know of the song, to be fair. Earth, Wind and Fire. Great song. Quali's not until this afternoon, Freda. 2 o'clock UK time. So 3.5 hours from now. Had a mass revision lesson on a Saturday, Kian. Dedicated, brother. Dedicated. I'm 20 years and 3 months older than you. Ugh. That makes me feel super old. If that's the case, you were born in what, 2011? Wow. Year 11. Dedication, man. Dedication. Thank you, Kitaki. Thank you, guys. Yes, so only moments away, guys, from green light in the practice session for today. So it's on the... There we go. Green light. Bosh. As I said. So there we are. So who's going to go out first? Of course, this session it is going to be important, but also remember that the track conditions are not relative to what we're going to see this afternoon. It is daytime at Singapore at the moment. It's not the nighttime session. So... yeah, let's see what it has in store for us. Yet to see any cars out on circuit. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the well wishes. Been married 35 years and 3 days ago. Wow, you've been married longer than I've been alive, Rob. That's impressive. Well done, buddy. Use tomorrow, GI. It could be a good weekend. F1 on your birthday weekend. Happy days, happy days. And it'll make it even better if my football team can win this afternoon against Chelsea, considering all of my my partner's half of the family are Chelsea. So it's West Ham versus Chelsea this afternoon. Will it rain for quali and the race? Good question. Let's have a quick check of the Marina Bay weather report. We did check yesterday, and it did look like it could potentially rain. So it is forecast today. It is forecast that it's going to rain. Oh no, it's probably going to be... It rained earlier on, I think, and it's tailing off today. Tomorrow, same thing. It's not going to rain tomorrow evening. It's going to rain during the day, but not in the evening. I think F1 might have just missed it. So, thank you, Jabu. Thank you, buddy. Away from South Africa. Good to see you. Tommy, Sue, Rav, thank you. Trudy, thank you, everyone. Yep, thank you. But no one out on circuit, guys. We are nearly 2 minutes into this session, and no one is out on circuit. So I don't know what they're all doing. I don't know why they're not all getting out there yet. They're all getting prepped from what I can see on the TV cameras. So, yeah, no one ready to go straight out in this session. Union Islands, leave it. Where's Reunion Islands? Where's that? My geography is pretty good, but I'm not entirely sure where Reunion Island is. Reunion Island is. Thanks, Joel. Yeah, thank you for the birthday wishes, guys. Much appreciated. Thanks for tuning in once again. Over 200 of you here in the stream already. It's just a couple of minutes into this practice session, and we have cars on the circuit. We have cars on the circuit. Track surface slippery in sector 16, so that's at the end of that DRS zone there, where we saw a couple of lockups into that kind of chicane, 16 and 17. So keep an eye on that today. But Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll out on the mediums. They were pretty slow yesterday. They were pretty slow. They didn't look too quick. So we'll see. They've got some improvements to make. Lewis Hamilton's got improvements to make. Of course, for tomorrow. For today. I still thought it was Friday. He was struggling with the car yesterday. So, yeah, Max Verstappen, of course, not happy as well. Helmut Marko said he was really surprised with the RB's pace being quicker than the Red Bulls. So, see what comes of it. Indian Ocean. Okay, cool. Harold Dillon, 33. 33. Murder Mitten in the States. Morning, Sid. Good to see you. September is, funnily enough, September is the busiest month for midwives, for births. Because, well, it's 9 months after Christmas and New Year's. Put 2 and 2 together. A time of celebration. Just saying. FP3 birthday edition, yeah, and quali this afternoon as well, because we'll be back for quali as well. Who am I betting on for this FP3 session? No one. FP3 practice. Whoever's at the top of the timing sheets when it comes to practice, you can't read too much into it. It's fun to do so. But I'd be surprised, actually. I wonder if they're just scrubbing off this set of tyres, Aston Martin. They'd like to do this. They like to just bod around. Yeah, look, they're taking the shine off of a set of tyres that they're going to use for the race tomorrow. Interesting. But yeah, thank you for all the birthday wishes, guys. Good to see you, Gordon. Welcome back. Who's my favourite driver? Probably Lewis. You can see from here. Probably Lewis Hamilton. Who's my next favourite after that? Next favourite after that. I'm not sure. I do like Charles Leclerc. I think, probably. No, Piastri, I think. Piastri's my next favourite driver. I really do like Piastri. Yeah, he's really grown on me. Cheers to the best channel out there. Thank you, Alfeo. Thank you. Oh, there you go. They're straight back out there on another set of hards. And we'll see if they do more laps on this one, or likewise if they're going to scrub off. But boring practice session at the moment, guys. No one is out on circuit apart from the 2 Aston Martins. Not entirely sure why. Do I think that any Indian can make it to F1? Yeah, definitely. We've had some Indians before, haven't we? But I'm not sure if there's any... Are there any Indian drivers in the junior formulas at the moment? I don't think there is. I think there's one driver I know who's on the grid. I think... Let's have a look. Let's have a quick look. Daruvula is Indian, but is he still in F2, or is he 25 years old now, though? That's the problem with Daruvula. Kind of past the age of really kind of making it into F1, I think. Kushmani. He is Indian, yeah, 23 years old, and he is in F2, yeah. Is he doing any good in F2, though? That's the question. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely... Oh, Kushmani... Isn't Kushmani... Isn't he the one that a lot of people are stating shouldn't There's someone in F1, in F2, people were stating, I don't think it's Kushmani, I'm not sure. People are stating shouldn't even be anywhere near the grid of F2. Can't remember. You don't think anyone will make it? I mean, maybe not anytime soon. I mean, I don't think there's anyone in F3. Not really at the moment, no. I suppose the problem with, of course, India as well is that there's, well, you've got a very large population. Motorsport is not really, it's very niche out there, isn't it? Especially with not even having the Indian Grand Prix out there anymore. So there's that kind of unfortunate element to not, when you've got a home Grand Prix and it's on like probably TV and stuff, it drives kids to want to do that sport. And yeah, unfortunately, that's not the case out in India. So good enough. And he also tested Alpine. Okay, fair enough. There is someone definitely on the grid in F2. People are like he shouldn't be there. He really shouldn't be there. I don't think yeah. I think it's because Kushmani got into that accident, didn't he? Last time around in the start of the Baku Grand Prix. So who'll be the next Scottish person? You think Lucas Blakely? Lucas is quick, but I think also his age is something. He's past that point of being kind of picked up by F2, F1 or whatever. So relatively well, everything in the standings. Yeah, so Kushmani is not the person I was thinking of. Not the person I was thinking of. No, but he's in government's mistake. Corner Sport Entertainment. Yeah, I mean, look, it doesn't matter where you go in the world. Motorsport is expensive, and that's the biggest gap. That's the biggest bridge that people have to cross when it comes to motorsport. And yeah, I mean, look, it's only ever going to be really. You need money behind you. Let's not beat around the bush. Like you've either got your family's either got money to support you, or you're that good quick enough that you've been able to get sponsors to support you. But yeah, oh, red flag. Why is there a red flag? Why is a red flag being thrown? There's only Alonso and Stroll out there. Is a lizard? Yeah, Scott, I'm not going to lie to you. My first instinct was like, surely there's like lizards on the track or someone's got onto the track. Why is there a red flag? Why is it? I'm waiting for the TV coverage to show why there's a red flag. It is a lizard. It is lizards. It is literally lizards. It's literally lizards. I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, the TV coverage... So Alonso had to go into the pit lane because there was a lizard in the middle of the track. Yeah, they've red flagged the session for lizards. Because they're a protected animal, I'm hearing on the TV coverage. So, yeah. Red lizard flag. I didn't have that on my bingo card. He's just strolling up the track. Where the pit lane entry is. All the drivers are laughing at it. Oh, brilliant. Apparently... Oh no, Crofty just went, oh, I'm not sure if we have an official lizard remover, but yeah, there's a red flag. And the timer's still going down. So yeah, the lizards have got in the way here of the running of this practice session. Because of Lance Stroll off his head and he's in danger, yeah. Godzilla versus Alonso. They're everywhere in Singapore, hard to avoid. A monitor lizard is going to mess your car up, yeah. Well, they're protected species, they just said as well, so. We've had a few instances, haven't we, in the past here at Singapore, where the lizards have got on track, so they're gonna catch lizards now, yeah. Oh yeah, the marshals are trying to usher it off, and it's just scuttling away from them. The marshal's got a bag. He's got a paper bag. You can see it on TV. He literally got two marshals chasing after this lizard down the track. One of them's got a plastic bag to try and catch it. Oh, this is embarrassing, isn't it? If they can't catch it. Have they caught it? Oh my god, there we go. Yay! Well done to the marshals. Well done to the marshals. They've cleared the track. Honestly, if you saw that, it will be on Twitter in an instant, guys. That was quite funny. That was quite funny. But welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Catch the lizards. Good luck with that. They are big angry if you mess with them. If they happen during the race, I don't know. I imagine they'd probably throw a safety car. But I'll just assume. Hey, Ab. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Please don't spam the chat. They would have been embarrassed if they didn't catch it. I know. I know. Yep. See you, Ab. Just please stop spamming the chat. Putting you in timeout, buddy. Stop spamming the chat. Who calls the red flag? A lizard! Godzilla! 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 But here we go. FP3 is officially underway. Before that, we had just Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso. Now we have more cars out on circuit. Whee! Day is officially started. Lizard skit as the birthday joke, yeah. Why is everyone going out now? Well, I don't know why they waited 10 minutes to go out there, but maybe they were just waiting for some track temps to cool down or get hotter, I don't know. But here we go. So we've got Bottas out there, Gasly, Ocon, Stroll, Alonso, Sainz, Leclerc, Zhou, Tsunoda, Piastri also making his way out there as well. So yeah, this practice session about to get properly underway. Hey Dan, I'm good, man. You? Imagine somebody threw a lizard on track to bring a safety car. So yeah, that was funny. Go onto Twitter, you'll see it. No doubt the images of. You'll see, no doubt, the images. Yeah, that was quite hilarious, actually. That was quite hilarious. There's something that guys, I wanted to show you. There's a TikTok that is absolutely hilarious, and I'll show you it towards the end of the stream. Of the Carlos Sainz and Carlos Sainz. Yeah, Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez crash. It's hilarious. The reaction is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'll get it later. Will Buxton just taught us about the origin of the denim in the 1500 in the French city. And oh, God, that's random, chat, isn't it? That's random. But yes, right. So Lewis Hamilton out there. He is indeed. So important session for Lewis Hamilton, guys. For those of you who are just tuning in and didn't watch yesterday, because he was struggling. One of a few drivers who were struggling yesterday, the two Red Bulls as well. So let's see if he's been able to fix that setup overnight. He so often has a good Friday and then struggles over the weekend. Maybe it's roles reversed this time around and he struggled on the Friday and he actually has a good turnaround of fortune for the weekend. So let's see. We'll keep you up to date with that. One of the Red Bulls out there in Sergio Perez, who also struggled yesterday. Max Verstappen still yet to get out there, which is intriguing. But yeah, the McLarens and the Ferraris definitely looked the strongest yesterday, that's for sure. Thanks, Jens. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Much appreciated. 33 years old. Damn. I don't feel it, though, guys. That's the important thing. Don't feel it. You're only as old as you feel. Yeah? Will Bottas get a seat next year in Sauber or a new driver? No, we discussed this yesterday. It looks ever more likely that Bottas will be out of F1 at the end of the season. It looks like Stake are potentially looking at a younger driver, whether it be from their own academy, in Zane Maloney, or whether it will be Bortoletto, who is a McLaren driver at the moment. So he is leading the F2 Championship, going for back-to-back F3 and F2 Championships, just like Oscar Piastri did. So for McLaren, that would be good for Bortoletto to be in a seat like Stake F1, because it means they'll have a driver of Piastri's, in essence, caliber, not sitting on the sidelines. So, yeah. Just turned 40 ends. Good age, good age. I don't look 33. Thank you, Entity. Thank you. Colapinto for Sauber? Yeah, we discussed this yesterday, maybe as well. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. I think if I was the stake team, why would you not utilise your junior drivers? You've developed them. You've put the money into them. Why would you develop someone else's driver? You know, what's the point of developing Bortoletto if he's maybe eventually going to go back to McLaren? If one of Piastri or Norris leaves, or Williams, Colapinto when he goes back to Williams. So I don't know. I think they should look at their own academy rather than outside of it. Halfway through life, buddy. Oh, I'm not halfway through life. I'm living to 150. These jeans. Bottas just retire if he's kicked out Sauber, and Porsche deserves that Sauber seat for 25. I think the problem with Porsche is that he's been out of F1 for too long. That's the problem with Porsche. So Piastri, top of the timing sheets of 32.9. Interesting. So yesterday we did see times that were quicker than what we saw in qualifying last year. Of course, we do have an extra DRS zone here, 4 rather than 3. So try and aid the overtake. Of course, that makes the lap time slightly quicker than last year. But these cars are around a second quicker anyway than the rest, than last year's cars. So, yeah, it's going to be a quick qualifying this afternoon. George Russell into P2, Lewis Hamilton into P3. So yet to hear of any complaints of Hamilton on the radio. So we'll see if we get those. Sergio Perez on the medium. Only a 34.3, but that probably indicates whether they're on high fuel. Verstappen as well. They generally don't like to use their battery, I think, in the practice sessions, whereas some of the other teams do. So take a bit of a pinch of salt. But yeah, Red Bull, once again, still on the back foot for this weekend. We'll see how they get on. The important thing I am keeping an eye on in this session, for you guys in particular with Red Bull, is have they eliminated the issues over the bumps that they had. So yesterday there was lots of lockups and lots of complaints from Max and Perez about the car over the bumps. So we'll see. I mean, Max has just gone purple in the first sector, so that's intriguing. So we'll keep an eye on their times today. Guys, it's live for today's race. I will be live later on this afternoon. I will be indeed. Yes, 2 o'clock this afternoon is when qualifying is on. So about 3 hours from now, I think. It's about 3 hours from now. Yeah, if my maths is correct. So you missed it. Congrats on the 30k stuff. Thank you, Guavon. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, great milestone to hear. As I said previously, big thank you to everyone who keeps tuning back into these watch-alongs. Consistency is key on YouTube. And yeah, we've built a great community here. I've more than doubled the subscribers that I had at the start of the year. And I'm still working full-time and then obviously trying to pay the bills. With that job, it's nice to see the continued growth. That's what's important. So, yeah, big thank you, guys. Onwards and upwards, eh? Onwards and upwards. But, right. Oh, interesting that Max Verstappen really putting the afterburners on at the moment, and he's going for a fastest lap. Let's see how he gets on here. No doubt to the top of the timing sheets. And it was with 32.0. Norris fastest in the middle sector, though, from him. So we'll see if he gets on. But, yeah, the fact Piastri is a second slower there, same Russell, same Hamilton, means that they maybe didn't have their engines or battery modes turned on quite as high. So, where's the new DRS zone? I think it's this one. I think it's 14 to 16. So, I think it's from here, 14 to 16. So, we've got the start-finish straight. We've got from turn 5 to 7. They've always been the standard. Last year, I think they added turn 13 to turn 14. But then this year, they've added turn 14 to 16. So, yeah. But, oh, Norris, interestingly, half a second slower. More than half a second slower. 6 tenths, half a second slower almost, basically, in the first sector compared to Verstappen there. So Verstappen pushing a little bit more in that middle sector compared to Norris. But yeah, the RBs do look quite okay. I mean, look, I don't know whether they did some low fuel runs yesterday, whether they turned the engine mode up. There's a lot of thing when a team like that jumps to the top of the timing sheets or is in the top half, kind of have to take it with a bit of a pinch of salt because they've probably done that just to maybe build some confidence in the team and maybe to try and see what the car is. I mean, qualifying is important here, not as important as maybe what it is in Monaco, but it is still very important because it is tricky to overtake here. So Charles will be pole today. He's definitely got an opportunity. A-King, definitely got an opportunity. Is it true that Max tested that 22.2 Red Bull car at Imola before the Spanish GP? I have absolutely no idea. Frankie Bradley, good to see you, mate. And Gregory, thank you, buddy. Thank you. Yes, birthday. Perez to the top of the timing sheets behind his teammate, and a bit temps back. So interesting. Just trying to see the TV coverage. I mean, We'll see. I mean, that's not... To put it in perspective, guys, we saw a 130.7 in practice yesterday. Hang on. As Max is saying, everyone is just in the way the whole lap. Car's much better, though. Okay, so he's much happier with the car. But, of course, traffic is always a interesting factor here at Singapore. As George Russell's on a fast lap at the moment. You can see there a 38.697 from him in the middle sector. Let's see if he improves. Should be okay. I think Yuki Tsunoda's going to not affect George Russell here as he heads through turn 16. DRS open in that new DRS zone, and only a couple of attempts off of Max in the first sector, much quicker in the second sector, and let's see where he goes. Only fourth, 26.0 in that last sector. Was quite slow, so maybe he did get affected by Yuki Tsunoda with a bit of dirty air there through turn 18 and 19. What's this, almost 3-minute laps? Isn't there a delta rule? Not in practice, no. In practice there isn't. Only in qualifying there'll be a delta rule. But yeah, definitely something for them to keep an eye on. I mean, it's a long track anyway. But yeah, they really have to try and cool down the tyres, don't they? It's always been an issue at Singapore. Verstappen is stating the car is much better, yeah. We'll go back to it. Yeah, no worries, Gordon, good to see you. What am I seeing? Red Bull 1 and 2. It's still early on in the session. Bearing in mind, this is the medium compound tyre as well. So this is a tyre that they would most likely use in the race. They're not going to use it in quali. And yeah, who knows what battery modes they're using. So forth. As Max is going for another quick lap. A 27.2 in the first sector. That's literally only 100th slower than what he did last time around. And is he going to get held up here by Sainz and Leclerc? Maybe. But Max pushing at the moment on this tyre on this car. Try and feel comfortable in it with the changes in setup overnight with a 31.6 from Max. So feeling much better, it seems. Feeling much, much better. See how the Ferraris and the McLarens get on a little bit later. But yeah, some setup changes they've clearly made. But have those setup changes been... Are they in sacrifice of performance? That's the question. The car may feel much better, but how is it relative to the McLarens and the Ferraris? We will see. What are my predictions for qualifying session? I think it's going to be Norris pole position, Charles Leclerc P2, Piastri P3. Those are my predictions. So, and I still think the Red Bulls will not qualify in the top 5. I think it's going to be the 2 McLarens and the 2 Ferraris in the top 4. I think Max may... I mean, Max sneak... I'm not sure. I just don't know what the Red Bull's genuine performance is like. As we said, the car may feel better there, as Max is reporting, but that might not have made it quicker. So, later they'll be low on fuel, ready for a quick lap. You'd think so. Yeah, you'd think so, GI. So, yeah, qualifying this afternoon, Yelisa. So, got to patiently waits for this practice session to end. Have some lunch, dinner, breakfast, wherever you are in the world, and then come back for qualifying this afternoon in a few hours' time. How about Sainz? He won the race last year. Yeah, I'm not ruling out Sainz either. I do just think that at the moment, look, with Sainz being on his way out, I think Leclerc is quite evidently #1 driver, being probably favoured as well. And I think Leclerc has the single lap pace over Sainz. But we'll see. Leclerc's on a good run of form also as well, remember. Monza, Baku. So we'll see. But yeah, I think it will be the McLarens and the Ferraris in the top 4. Sainz up there into P2. So yeah, practice. We can read a lot. We can of course read a lot into it. But I mean, what was the fastest practice session? I mean, this is in the morning, bearing in mind. Morning, sorry. Daytime still. So if I look at... the times for yesterday in this practice session. So what was the fastest time we saw? So the fastest time we saw yesterday in FP1 was 1:31.7. So we are already ahead of that with a 1:31.6 for Verstappen. Lando did a 1:31.8. Carlos Sainz a 31.9. Max did a 32.0 yesterday, so he's 4 tenths quicker than what his fastest lap was. So yeah, we're already quicker than we were yesterday. And that's understandable because the track has rubbered in. These guys have been able to dial their setups in, of course, over the last couple of practice sessions. Thank you, Jack. Oh, just watching Pierre Gasly. What did he do? Oh, come on. The Mercedes was well off there. Mercedes, George Russell took avoiding action there comfortably. So I don't know why he was really complaining too much there. George Russell up there just setting another quicker lap in P2 with a 31.8. Max is stating he has oversteer. This will make him a happy boy. Yeah. Yeah, but not... It's only when he hits max steering lock, Scott. That's what he just said. So probably not what you want. Hope I've reached 31k soon. Thank you, mate. Yeah, thank you, Jack. Trying to get fast enough to see you in races. I've only done one race this week. I've only done one race. Keep at it, mate. Better, mate. Do I think they are burning too many tyres? I think they should only use. I think they should use only old tyres to clear up the track and force quality. 4 50-minute sessions, everyone 1 lap in each pollution. No. I mean, the tyres are all recycled anyway, so. Red Bull can't mess up the tyre management today, or the constructors is gone. I think the constructors is gone anyway. So. What is the difference between dirty air and a tow, Ariane? So dirty air is the air that is displaced by the car in front. So the car in front, in clean air, punches a hole in the air in front. And all the air bounces off and is displaced. So an F1 car is designed to... is intricately designed to go through clean air and the air to go down these channels so that it gets maximum downforce and increase their performance. When you're following another car, that dirty air is thrown off. That air is thrown off and known as dirty air, and it's bouncing all around the car as it's not designed to do so. And that means that the car loses downforce, it slides around more because the air is bouncing off the car and not providing the performance it should do. And then when you're within a certain window behind the car in front of you, particularly down the straights, you can get in a pocket that's behind the car in front. Why am I doing it like that? My camera's terrible, and I like behind basically, and the car in front is doing all the work for you, and you get what's known as a tow, slipstream, and you've got less resistance, and that's why you're able to go faster and overtake. So that's what the tow is, the slipstream, and that's what dirty air is. I hope I've explained that efficiently for you. They need to practice more so that they could familiarise with their layout and less mistakes or possible. How many sets of tyres will they get per race? I can't remember now. I can't remember how many sets of tyres they get. Thank you, Ian. Albon wall stripe puncher front left. Really? Is he out there? Or is he? No, he's in the pits at the moment, isn't he? Charles Leclerc, top of the timing sheets. A 31.5. Bosh. But Max Verstappen going a little bit quicker. But he's slower in the middle sector. So we'll see how he gets on. So Max Verstappen, he gained some time in the first sector, but he's lost it again in the second. At the moment, Max is quickest in the last sector. Lando Norris in his way. I think Lando was coming into the pits. And then Verstappen does fastest in the last sector, 31.7 from him though. So yeah, Max does seem to be a lot more comfortable. But I'm not entirely sure whether Leclerc, Norris, Piastri have really turned up the heat yet. So thank you, Nikos. Max is looking good in sector 1. Haas look good, yeah, 9th and 10th at the moment. Look, you can see the RB cars there now a little bit lower. Colapinto on the soft compound tyres, interesting. Surely we're going to get drivers going on the softs shortly, as we are 29 minutes, just over 29 minutes remaining of this FP3 session. If you're just joining us, guys, welcome. It's going to be an interesting weekend, interesting Saturday. Of course, we have qualifying this afternoon. We've already had a red flag for a lizard on the circuit. Yes, you heard that correctly, a lizard on the circuit. Brought out an early red flag, and we got some entertainment in some marshals running down the track after it. So thankfully none of them fell over and they swiftly got removed. So just watching an onboard of Max Verstappen. What did he do? So Max had reason Max was a bit slower in that middle sector is that he got over the curb. The same curb that Fernando Alonso nearly had a crash on yesterday through turn 7. So yeah. Who's my idol growing up? I don't know. I didn't really have an idol growing up. I mean, my favourite driver growing up was Mika Hakkinen. Mika Hakkinen, unbelievable driver. Unbelievable. Bet £50 Lizard ruins the race. I bet there's odds for that somewhere. What do I think of the future of Colapinto? I mean, look, he needs to just focus on the remaining races that he's got this year. And if he does that and he continues his form, then he's put himself in a good position to give James Vowles a horrible headache, or a good headache, shall we say, to make him think that, look, he's got a good driver waiting in the wings, as George Russell went off and locked up just a moment ago. So lots of drivers coming in the circuit, coming into the pit lane now, by the way, guys, which I think means we're going to get some quali runs. This is where practice gets interesting. And then, yeah, I think, look, he may sneak a seat somewhere else, like at Sauber. I think most likely he's going to not be on the grid for next year, which is fine. But if he, end of the day, he's going to have total of 9 full races, 3 sprint races. If he does the job and is close to Albon in that short amount of time, I mean, I think he could potentially be an F1 in 26. So, hey, Salt, good to see you. Thank you, Bivo. Thank you, Demon. Yeah, thank you, guys. Yeah, Max is looking a lot more comfortable, Arnold. But it's more so, have they been able to genuinely increase their pace relative to the McLaren and the Ferraris? We'll see. We will see. Cycling pollutes a lot more than people think. A lot of energy is lost there. And Ocon lasted 27 laps in qualifying to 12 in the old days. So much for cost saving. Will Hadjar get the V-carb seat? Only if Liam Lawson is promoted to Red Bull, I think. I think Hadjar might be... I mean, who knows what the Red Bull lineup's going to be next year. We know Yuki's there. We know Lawson probably will be there. Is Perez going to stay around? Probably, because he's got the money. But yeah, I think Hadjar might have a year out of F1 and then be promoted for 26, I reckon. I think it might be like kind of a Liam Lawson situation, unfortunately, for Hadjar. And then they've got that Arvid Lindblad as well, who's doing very well. I mean, if he has a stonker of a year next year in F2, then Red Bull have got a good headache for themselves again, haven't they? But Max Verstappen could potentially be leaving to Mercedes, as we've mentioned. So if you were to believe the rumours, so yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the birthday wishes. This might be DR's last race, yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, he hasn't really done much, has he, since he left? I mean, since he left Renault, really. He should never have left Renault. I mean, arguably you could say he should have never left Red Bull in hindsight, but yeah, I mean, it's not the Ricciardo of old, is it, really? Much as you may like his personality, not the same driver. A big thank you for everyone for tuning in. Over 100 likes already. If you are new to this channel, or if you're a returning visitor to this channel, viewer, and you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, what are you doing? Interestingly enough, 70% of you don't hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to this channel. I mean, if you were, I might be able to do this full time already. So please hit the subscribe button, guys. Trying to hit 31,000 subs. We hit 30,000 last weekend in the Baku Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So big thank you. Hopefully Singapore is another good one for us, as it's the last one before we go into another break, really, an autumn break. We've just come back from the summer break, and we're about to have another one of 3 weeks, where we then head to the circuit of the Americas. But yeah. Can Lando Norris close down finally sufficiently a large enough gap on that? Sorry, let me start again. Can Lando Norris close the gap sufficiently on Max Verstappen this weekend, unlike he has done in the past few races? We will see. What's my opinion on Mini DRS and McLaren, and should it have been bad? Look, they've obviously deemed that it's not part of the regulation, or it's they've wanted to clarify the regulations. But yeah, it's clever from McLaren. It is clever. It is a little bit interesting that as soon as Red Bull have what's the right word? Protested something. That's it. As soon as Red Bull have protested a part, though, but it's been. I mean, then again, the flexi wing on the front they said was legal, but yeah, I mean, whenever Red Bull do protest something, they give an answer straight away. Whereas in previous years, when people have protested stuff on the Red Bull, they've been given X amount of time to change it, and they've kind of sat on their laurels and not really investigated it that quickly. So, which I found just a little bit interesting. That's just an observation of mine. But yeah, look, McLaren haven't done anything wrong really in the grand scheme of things. They've played the game of F1. That's it. So. So yeah, also that hand came in a worse time for Rick. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Yeah, it was unfortunate circumstances, but he has to count himself lucky that he's even back in F1, really. Imagine not being subbed here. I know, GI, I know. Right, any drivers out there on the softs? Yes, George Russell, first driver in the top 4 teams out on the softs. Fernando Alonso's still on the mediums. Sainz is still on the mediums as well. He goes behind his teammate. But no doubt we're going to get drivers on the softs now doing these quali runs, as we have just under 23 or just over 22 minutes remaining, guys. Here we go. This is where practice gets interesting. You can't join. That's okay. If you can join, it's much appreciated, of course. It helps support the channel and helps support myself. But subbing also does the same. So big thank you, guys. They will let the mini DRS slide so they won't be burned out with the Red Bull domination here. Thank you for this. Yeah, thank you for the birthday messages, guys. 33. Lando has to get into some serious character development. I agree. He needs to be more of a dick. That's my assessment, really, of Lando. He needs to stop being so nice. Take the ball by the horns and be more aggressive and be a bit more. That's my opinion. So, is this a 2-stop circuit? No, Ariane. Unless there's like increment, unless there's like adverse weather, i.e., rain. But yeah, no. Mostly it's just a single. It's a normal 1-stop really. Because track position is key. So you saw last year, I think it was the Mercedes made an extra stop, and they did catch up to the front pack of Sainz and Norris. However, they didn't have enough in those tyres to get past Norris and Sainz. So yeah, it's really kind of, most of it is kind of done in the pit lane if there's adverse weather. So yeah, it's a kind of a strategy race really. If there's safety cars, that's where things get interesting in Singapore really. And I mean, how long was it ago? We had a safety car? 8 races now? We are, I think, in a row. We haven't had a safety car. Max Verstappen approved of that age. Quali is on at 2 o'clock UK time this afternoon. So that'll be just under 3 hours. Just under 3 hours until qualifying gets underway, guys. Was it wise for Red Bull to work on the current RB rather than next year's RB? Yeah, I think so, because the current RB, I mean, they've still got a chance of winning the... Actually, still in the lead. Still win the Drivers' World Championship, so that's obviously what they're worried about. So, yeah, it's pertinent for them to work on this year's car rather than next year. And the thing is, as well, is that next year's car, there's not going to be too many... It's still the same regulation set. Yes, there'll be slight clarifications and changes that they need to make, but really, it's the same car as this year. The same regulations. So, the real change will come, of course, for 26. George Russell going fastest, as you can see. Fastest time we saw yesterday was a 30.7, I believe it was. So let's see if George Russell can beat that today. Just double check that was the case. And FP2 yesterday was a 30.7 set by Lando Norris. So let's see if the drivers are already quicker than that, and if they are turning the heat up in this FP3 session. And wow, most definitely. So that is a definite quality run there from from George Russell. A 30.1 from him, 6 tenths faster than what we saw yesterday in FP2 from Lando Norris. So who else is on a fast lap at the moment? We can see Oscar Piastri is. Let's keep an eye out on him. Not fastest in the first sector. He's slightly slower than George Russell and slightly slower than him. 3 tenths slower in the middle sector as well, Oscar Piastri. Interesting. Of course, still not entirely sure what engine modes they're running, what fuel levels they're running. Some could be less than others. So George Russell could have slightly less fuel than Piastri. There is always that as well, as Piastri comes around the last corner. Let's see what time he sets. Where does he go? Second, 3 tenths back on George Russell. And well, I have said this yesterday, that every 10 kilograms of fuel, guys, in the car equates to 3 tenths per lap slower. So that right there, you could say Oscar Piastri arguably could have 10 kilograms more fuel on his car compared to George Russell. But yeah, you can't never read too much into this, but it's interesting to see the pace. Lewis Hamilton, that's considerably slower than his teammate there. 7 tenths back on. I mean, I haven't heard anything on him. I haven't heard anything from him on the radio yet. He was complaining a lot yesterday, Hamilton. So I have no idea if he's improved the setup in his car. You'd like to think he has done, but not so sure. Sub 30 possible for quali later? Yeah, 100% Raven. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if we've got a 30.1 in practice, it's definitely going to... Unless there's rain this evening, it's definitely going to be more than that. Yeah. Quicker than that. Tomorrow's your birthday. Hope Charles wins. Oh, nice one, given. Good weekend. Good weekend. VSC last race, though, not that it matters. Yeah, VSC isn't a safety car, let's be honest. Not a true safety car. Thank you, Rara. Thank you, Bok. Thank you, guys. So, Sergio Perez, what does he set a time yet? So, Sergio Perez is on the medium still. Interesting. Not doing a quali run yet. He's not on the softs. Verstappen is now out on the softs, so we'll keep an eye out on him. Lando Norris is also coming out onto the softs as well. Colapinto. So, let's see. Let's keep an eye out on these. Why is there something so slow all of a sudden? He's just been struggling with the car. But I think there might be a reason why he was slower there. I haven't seen it on board. I haven't seen whether or not he's had issues out there on circuit. It might just be because he was just running a lower engine mode. As I said, there's so many variables to why they could be slower. I don't expect Lewis to be 7/10 slower than his teammate in qualifying, but you never know. Right, Max Verstappen on a lap. Let's see if that Red Bull has genuinely improved overnight. He's saying the car is better, but how much better is it? As Oscar Piastri had a big tank swapper in the middle sector on that turn 7 curb. Drivers need to be very wary of that curb today and tomorrow, by the way. And that could really claim some victims as Hamilton is in the pits. But Max Verstappen, has he turned a corner overnight with his setup? Well, a 26.9 for him in the first sector. That's 2 tenths down on George Russell in the first sector. But let's see how he gets on through the remainder of this second sector. Very tight, twisty section. He heads down the short run to turn 10, where George Russell binned it last year, remember, on the last lap in that 4-way fight for the win. Through tight, twisty turn 11 and 12, down to turn 13, where Sergio Perez was a menace, absolute menace, and was lunging his car into this corner. And then one of the few overtaking opportunities at this circuit. DRS open down into turn 14. And then as we head through turn 14, another DRS section, as you'll see his indicator be open there as he heads down to turn 16. The new addition this year for DRS zone. So 38.0 from him, second fastest. So this could be fastest out of anyone thus far, as he has been quickest out of most in the last sector. As Max Verstappen comes around the last corner, and what time does he set? Ooh, only a 1:30.5, 4 tenths slower. Lost quite a bit of time in the last sector, Verstappen. So I'm watching his onboard. Let's have a look and see where he lost that time. He lost that time. Yeah, missed the apex into turn 13. So he was already Max was already 3 tenths down in the first sector, in the first 2 sectors. So, interesting. But as we know, there still could be pace in that Red Bull relative to the McLaren and the Mercedes there at the top. But Lando Norris on a lap now. So let's see how he gets on. Fastest. A full 1.5 faster than anyone in the first sector. He's now 2 tenths faster than Russell in the second sector. And, well, it looks like Lando is on it. I mean, is Yuki Tsunoda going to get in the way here of Lando Norris's fast lap? No, he's not. He's going to move out of the way, which is good for us. And he has only 2 more corners to navigate. Let's see where he goes. No doubt this is going to be top of the timing sheets. Let's see. Turn 19. And a 1:29.6. There's your answer. There is your answer. Whoever asked the question, will we see a sub 1:30? Well, we've seen it in practice. We could see a sub... Could we see a sub 29? I don't know. Definitely a low 29, but Norris, that's a full 9 tenths faster than Max Verstappen there. Whew. So, very interesting, very interesting. Perez will probably be hungry from last weekend. The Honda Power units will get a thrashing this weekend, for sure. Yes. Yes, but anyone else out there on the soft who's going to be interested in Lance Stroll, Zhou Guanyu, if anyone's interested in Zhou Guanyu, will he be able to drag himself from the bottom of the timing sheets there? Lance Stroll on a flying lap now. But yeah, Lando looks very aggressive. Watching his onboard, he looks very aggressive, very comfortable. That even though Max Verstappen has made improvements in that Red Bull, it still doesn't look anywhere near as comfortable as what that McLaren does when you ride on board with it. So, ouch, that's a body blow for everyone else. Yeah, I think so, Rotti. I still think this is between Leclerc and Norris. They seem to be really in the groove. Piastri seems to be, I don't know, maybe struggling with the setup. I'm not sure. Maybe he's not as confident around here. He hasn't shown. I haven't seen enough from Piastri in the first few in the practice sessions thus far. But he is on pace with Leclerc and Norris. But Piastri, we all know, of course, from how good he is, he could definitely pull something out of the bag. Waiting for Charles' response, yeah. When's qualifying start? This afternoon at 2 o'clock UK time. So you're talking just 2.5 hours, pretty much. Just over 2.5 hours. Do I think Lando can win the Drivers' Championship? I still do. I still do think he can win it. Max seeing Lando's time will be very disheartened. Yeah, because, I mean, even so, I mean, even if they turn an engine mode up, even if they use maybe some battery, does the Red Bull have a 9/10 in its pocket on Norris? Plus, it's going to be more than that, because you never see, very rarely do you see the fastest lap in FP3 be the fastest lap in quali. It's always quicker. They always improve as they're obviously more on the limit. So, yeah. How can we watch quality for free? Right here with this watch along this afternoon, guys. Turn back up this afternoon. There's a yellow. Oh, in sector turn 7, has George Russell gone off? Is he locked up down into turn 7? Looks like it. As I said, turn 7, that curve is cashing a lot of people out. Remember, these cars are being run very low to the ground, and it's quite raised, and they're almost... that they're grounding out over that curb, and that's where we've seen Fernando Alonso have a big wobble yesterday. We've seen Max Verstappen have a wobble over it already. Oscar Piastri as well. Drivers, it wouldn't be... if there's going to be a crash in qualifying, that's where I suspect it might be. And in the race tomorrow. It's very, very interesting that they've decided to raise that curb. But, I mean, it's there. If you go over it too much, it is there as a deterrent, so... Good for Lando. Disrespect he's getting lately is so overboard. He's rapid. He is, but he does, of course, still need to convert it. As Zhou Guan Yu does drag himself off the bottom of the timer sheets up into 17. Well done, Zhou. Well done. Can all this be the cause of Red Bull downfall? It would be so shameful for him. I think it's part of it. Yeah, I do. I don't think it's solely, but I do think there's an element there of why the team is not as a complete unit as it was before. There's a reason why Nui is leaving. There's a reason why Jonathan in the same year. It wouldn't surprise me if you see other members of the team leave as well. All is not well behind the Red Bull factory doors, that's for sure. But yeah, the car itself, don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I still have my suspicions that they've been told to remove a device that was helping them. The drop-off is too dramatic, in my opinion. It's unprecedented in F1 history. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe it is just them going down a completely wrong concept. And even so, that's just them. That's the biggest fumbling of the ball if I've ever seen in a sport. So. Sauber's not likely to make the 100% rule during quali. It would be interesting to see the FIA say, no, you can't race, make an effort to upgrade before Audi takes over. That'd be very interesting, Warren, actually. Very interesting. As Leclerc and Sainz now, guys, are on lap. So Carlos Sainz, Leclerc bowed out of his lap, actually, as Carlos Sainz goes 5th fastest. So they're saving some. Sainz is saving some, that's for sure. And Leclerc, well, I think he's on a second out lap. I assume he probably got held up. Watching the TV coverage, and there's nothing to show that he had a lock-up. He probably caught some traffic. So no doubt Leclerc might go for another run. We'll see. What is worse, Red Bull drop-off or Mercedes drop-off? So Mercedes drop-off is very different because they went from one regulation set to a new regulation set. So they were dominant in a different regulation period. And that's always been the case in F1, is that the team that dominates a certain regulation period doesn't necessarily dominate the next one. We suspected that Mercedes would do much better because of their resources, but no, I mean, the biggest fumble is Red Bull. No team in the history of F1 has dominated as much as they have and been caught as quickly as they have. You have to remember, they were still winning the first few races this year by 15 seconds, 20 seconds. Max still won 7 out of the first 10 races, I think it was. And it's still, that's the reason why he's in the lead now. And you now look at it, yes, the teams have made progression. McLaren have obviously improved their car, so Ferrari, so Mercedes. But there's no way that Red Bull should be the 4th fastest car right now. No way. That is absolutely like just unheard of. We haven't seen that in F1 in such a short period of time in the same regulation set. The only time we've ever kind of seen a drop-off like that is when the FIA have told a team to remove something but they shouldn't have had, i.e. Ferrari in 2017 with their fuel flow measurement, and other cars throughout the history of F1 as well. So they can deny it as much as they like, but I still have my suspicions. They're never going to admit it, of course. So it's hard not to think Red Bull have not been told to take something off the car as it's night and day from earlier. Yeah, that's just join the dots. Just join the dots. We've all got eyes. We can all see it. The timing screens don't lie either. So Williams are the fastest Formula B team confirmed. I mean, yeah, thus far they're doing very well. And you know what? I not wrote Williams off, but I didn't think they'd be as strong here this weekend after what we saw in Baku, because of the kind of top speed difference that you achieve at Baku compared to here. But they're doing well at the moment. And Colapinto still, again, like on the same time as Albon as well. Brilliant from Colapinto. Brilliant. Charles Leclerc into P5 there, and Carlos Sainz, no doubt, saving some engine mode, saving some battery there in the Ferrari. So there's no way that they're that slow. So that's definitely them sandbagging a bit. When will McLaren have to switch those alternative DRS wings? I think it's after this weekend. So I don't think they're using that wing anyway. It's only the low downforce wing that they received that. And because it's also at certain circuits that it only becomes effective. The really high speed circuits where it's got obviously a lot of load on the rear wing. Monza, Spa we've seen. Baku last time out. So the next time it'd be effective is really Circuit the Americas, you would think. Because of the long back straight they've got there, or Vegas. So yeah, they've already gained the advantage that they had from it. But yeah, I think it's not going to be relevant here because they need a higher downforce wing here. They need probably a medium downforce wing at Kota because you still need quite a bit of downforce there. They've got so. Thank you, Jay. Much appreciated. Hamilton's tyres are not working. Shock, and water is wet. Water is wet. Was it ever? It's great for us fan. Exactly. I'm not complaining that if the FIA have told them to remove something. Yeah, because it's great for F1. It's been great for F1. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Graham. Much appreciated. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, Vegas probably, Warren. Yeah, it's when the next time they probably use a low downforce wing. So, but yeah, right. Sergio Perez, is he on a lap? He is on a lap. Oh my God, Sergio Perez just went 15th fastest. That's not good. Was that him lifting out of something there? 27. It was quite. He was considerably slow in the first sector, considerably slow in the second, and the third. Yeah. What happened there with Sergio Perez? Did he just bail out of it? Bail out of it. Thank you, Akil. Thank you for the subs coming in, by the way, guys. Please continue to hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back, of course, this afternoon in a few hours' time for Quali. Who is going to be on pole? Who? Let me know, guys. We'll do a poll this afternoon. But who, from what you've seen thus far, who do you think is going to get pole position this afternoon? Who's your bet for pole? Let me know in chat. Let me know. You reckon Ricciardo and Bottas will lose his seat? Yeah, I think Ricciardo's lost his seat. It looks like it's going to be. It looks like it's pretty much going to be Liam Lawson, isn't it? So it should be, really. So it should be. Oof, Hamilton 8 tenths off Russell. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't really done. He did a single lap, which wasn't great for him. So, what's the rain prediction? I think it's going to be dry this evening. Is it my birthday today? It is, Para. The little stuff here should give it away. Can Ferrari actually be happy seeing Russell versus Hamilton's performance? Are they hiring a driver or marketing strategy? I think they're hiring both. I think that there's unique circumstances to Lewis Hamilton at the moment. You have to realise his mindset probably isn't quite there. I think he feels like he's probably being mistreated. He's alluding to that, being used kind of more as a test, test experiment, really. I think that was clearly the case in Baku, and he's just not happy with that car. Oh, Leclerc saying he just had no grip. So Leclerc's lap was actually proper. Interesting. There's talking about this is the temperature in the tyre situation again as well. Like, these tyres, if you can't get them in the right window, the right temperature window, you just lose so much time relative to what the car can actually do and your talent as a driver, as Lewis Hamilton is evidently finding out as well. So interesting. Leclerc is back out there on the same set of softs, so we'll see if he goes for another quick lap. I assume he will. Cheers, Connor. Thank you, buddy. Don't know fuel loads between teammates either. Exactly. Yeah, that's true. And engine modes. But I do think Norris looks good. Norris is like, I want to get out there. I want to get in my groove. Set those benchmarks. Be the man to beat, I think. I think that's probably his attitude this weekend. And he definitely looks like to be that at the moment so far. Sorry, Norris on pole. Lewis on max for pole. Norris then another take that he won't lose P1 in lap 1. Yeah, I think so. Anyone else? Lando. A lot of people think Lando. Leclerc, Norris, Piastri. Interesting. Is Kimi overrated? Is he ever going to deliver in accordance with the hype? Kimi? What, Antonelli? Kimi Antonelli? Yeah, I think he will deliver at some point. I mean, next year is a learning year for him, but yeah, I think Kimi Antonelli is one of those. He's got raw speed. He's aggressive as well. There's very kind of few of those drivers that come through. Yeah, McLaren and Mercedes have clearly seen a lot and invested a lot of time and development on him. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. All the pressure next year is on George. It's not on Kimi. It's on George, especially with the rumours of Max potentially joining in 2026. But here we go. Right, so only a minute left, guys, of this session. Is Charles Leclerc going to go for one more flying lap? Let's see what he does. It looks like he is. So let's keep an eye on Charles. He complained about lack of grip, no doubt, struggling with the temperature in the tyres. So let's see how he gets on now. He has already done a couple of laps on this tyre, so it might not be, it probably won't be quick enough to get anywhere close to Norris, but it will be an improvement. So let's see how he gets on. Through turn 5. DRS open all the way down to the turn 7, where you need to be careful with those lockups. We've seen drivers go off there already today, and of course the exit curb as well. So it looks like Leclerc's navigated his way safely through that with a 26.9, which is 6th fastest at the moment. So yeah, don't expect him to be as quick as Lando Norris for that first sector, who did a 26.6, so 3 tenths quicker with fresh tyres, of course. Charles Leclerc now heading through the tight, twisty second sector as he heads into turn 13. Full lock here on the exit of turn 13. This is one of the few overtaking opportunities with this run down to turn 14. DRS open. And he should cross that line now with the second sector, and it's a 38.2 from Leclerc. So, yeah, he's 2 tenths down on that lap he set last time around. So, understandably, losing the grip here with this 5-lap-old set of soft tyres. DRS open again as he heads down to turn 16 and 17. Full throttle will be a slight lift through turn 18. Might get a bit of a wash of the dirty air from Ricciardo in front, and it is not an improvement. It's a 32.0. So, wow, that is considerably slower there, isn't it, from Charles? But this FP3 session has now come to an end. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this FP3 session. We will be back, of course, this afternoon for qualifying, but let's have a rundown of this. Shall we? Shiv, please stop spamming. I don't like spammers, so because my mods aren't here, I'm just putting you in a timeout. Simple as. What happened to Ferrari today? I think they did some long runs, of course. They've been dialing in their setup, but it does seem that Leclerc struggled with some grip or the temperature in his tyres when he tried to do his flying lap. But it does seem that Norris is in the ascendancy in P1 there. 4 tenths, nearly half a second quicker Then George Russell in P2, Oscar Piastri in P3, Verstappen P4. That car has improved overnight, but how has it improved relative to the McLaren and the Ferrari and the Mercedes? Have they had to make some sacrifices in performance to ensure that car is more balanced? Leclerc in P5, Sainz P6, Hamilton P7. A very quiet session from Hamilton. I didn't hear anything from him on the radio. So I have absolutely no idea if he's more comfortable in the car than yesterday. He was complaining about lack of traction, so see. Albon and in 8th, Colapinto in 9th, by the way. The two Williams looking strong again in the midfield. So could they have double points again 2 races in a row, especially with Colapinto on a good, really loving his time in F1 at the moment. Look at that. Like, hardly any time separating him and Albon. Alonso in P10. The Aston Martin doesn't look strong here. Alonso dig deep and outperform that car once again. We'll see. Yuki Tsunoda in 11th, Hulkenberg 12th. Magnussen, who has 0 super license points on his license and no doubt on his way out of F1 at the end of the season, is in P13. Gasly 14th, Perez 15th. He also struggled for grip, it seems, as well. And Ocon in 16th, Ricciardo in 17th, Stroll 18th, Bottas 19th, Zhou 20th. And, well, Zhou's fastest lap 3 seconds behind Lando Norris. That's really interesting. Really interesting. Norris just looks very good. Reckon he'll get pole today. Does seem to be that way, I think. Has some chips and eggs with that spam. Nice that we get some variation after that 23 season. Exactly. I've been in awe of how fast the Mexican has gone in FP3. He's such a worthy driver in the RB seat. He's cost RB millions in repair. I'm going to go out on a limb here, Tim, but I'm just sensing a bit of sarcasm. Just a little bit. I don't disagree, though. Don't disagree. Alonso and Bottas ahead of Leclerc didn't improve on their laps, too. Leclerc had to back off in the last section not to run into them. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I still suspect Leclerc will get that Ferrari working in quali, and I do suspect that it will be very close between the two McLarens and the Ferraris in quali, that's for sure. Don't rule out Carlos Sainz, of course. He put it on pole here last year when all the talk was about Leclerc, and he eventually won that race. The only driver last year other than the 2 Red Bull drivers to win a race in 2023. So, yeah, he'll feel confident, no doubt, and there is still plenty in the back pocket for those 2 Ferraris. Where will the Red Bull end up? Has Max Verstappen still enough? I'm not sure. But yeah, qualifying is going to be really interesting. Incident involving Norris. Oh, incident involving cars Perez and Norris noted impeding. But normally, the car that's indicated first there is the one that has done the impeding. That's the one that has done the impeding. So, what has happened there? Let's see. I'm waiting for the TV coverage to show this. But has Perez impeded Lando Norris somewhere? Not entirely sure where that would be. But that's the nature of this circuit. It's a street circuit. Anything can happen with the impeding, that's for sure. Norris, Piastri and Leclerc for qualifying. Can Max take pole? Don't think so. No. Thank you, Troll. Thank you, buddy. Long time, though. And his impeding is equally brilliant, Tim. Last time Alonso won Singapore was 2008. Was it 2008 or 2010? 2008, of course, was Crashgate. We know why he won that, because his teammate crashed on purpose and allowed him to pit under the safety car and come out in front of everyone. Richie, thank you for the sub, buddy, and thank you for anyone else who has subbed in the meantime as well. Much appreciated. If you are new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you're a long-term viewer of this channel and you have yet to hit the subscribe button, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. It really does help grow this great community we've got here. I think McLaren have concentrated on qualifying. Their race pace was on softs in FP1. Leclerc's on mediums. I think McLaren would sacrifice their race pace for position on track and hold a Ferrari. Yeah, I mean, look, it is a track where qualifying is important. Like, we've already seen this season that you need a sufficient amount of tyre delta, a tyre advantage, basically, to overtake the cars up front because of how close the performance is now. So, yeah, I mean, will someone have a lunge down into turn 7? Maybe, but the guy who's up front can control the pace out of turn 5 on that run down to turn 7. So, yeah, pole position is important here, or at least starting on the front row is very important here, because you want to be able to get through the first sector and through, of course, down into turn 7 without that DRS on the first lap. You want to be able to get through there, obviously, in the position you want to be in. So, No, qualifying will be on this afternoon. So that lap from Norris was mega. It looks comfortable, Connor, didn't it? It looked very comfortable. That's ominous for the other teams. Ominous. Friday did the longest medium runs, looking good on tyres again. Yeah, I mean, look, the race is going to be one on strategy, isn't it? It's going to be one on strategy, really, or just maybe outright pace. I'd be intrigued to see. I mean, the McLarens have always been good on tyres. The Ferrari, they've made that upgrade has definitely improved them, massively improved them. So, you're going to watch F1 with a date tomorrow. A date with F1. What a date. Good luck, man. Just live in Singapore, don't realise how narrow these streets are. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is watch the onboards, and you can see like there's a lot of places here where there's no room for overtaking. So, can you take your camera, show what you're seeing? Back of conditions, who will master tyres? Interesting. Thank you for the sub, Lisa, and anyone else who subbed in the meantime. Much appreciated. Perez 15th. Yeah, so a real intriguing one, guys. I'm not sure who's going to be on pole. I mean, I think Norris is my bet for pole position this afternoon. I think he just looked very comfortable, unless his teammates got something in the bag. But he does seem to be slightly off the pace this weekend in the practice sessions we've seen over his teammate. Norris, no further investigation needed for Perez and Norris for leading. Okay. But yeah, George Russell, we know he's a good qualifier. Max, I think once again, a top 5 for Max would be great for him to qualify. But I'm not sure he will. Not sure he will. But we'll see. We'll see. Lewis Hamilton, I'll see if he's got any comments after that practice session to see if he's more comfortable with the car. I'm going to assume no. But yeah, we'll see. What are the chances a crash will happen? What, in qualifying or in the race? I mean, potentially. Yeah, I mean, look, if there's going to be a crash, I think it will be turn 7. I mean, we've seen drivers already kind of lock up here and have no room. There's not a lot of room for error, of course. You have to bail out early into a lot of these corners, as Russell found out yesterday, locking up as he went into turn 8, lost his front wing. So yeah, you need to bail out early, and it could be a case of someone doesn't, and they just lock up and kind of an innocuous crash, and it brings out a yellow flag, and then that ruins a lot of drivers' laps who are behind them. So here's to wishing me a happy birthday. Oh, thank you, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna go have a nice lunch, and then I'll be back, of course, for qualifying this afternoon, and then I'm going around my mum's for some dinner and some nice chocolate cake this evening. Turn 10 through 13 is very narrow. Yes, yeah, that's why there's no overtaking there. It's all about lining yourself up, getting that rear traction out of turn 13 to turn 14. But we have seen overtakes in the past, but the dirty air, of course, a lot more prevalent this year. Really need that rear traction, and as the race goes on, of course, by the time you've got to lap 13, your rears might be spiked in temperature and you don't have that grip. I think it's good that they've got the DRS from turn 14 to 16 this year. That might have a bit more. We might see a bit more of an overtaking opportunity there. I'm not sure. I will see. We'll see. But it's definitely. I mean, 4 DRS zones. Jesus. Wow. I think Australia is the only other one that's got 4 DRS zones, isn't it? Had a very bad rain yesterday around 10 to 11 p.m. Chance of rain tomorrow. Ooh. Hit the gym for now, Raven. Enjoy, buddy. Enjoying. But yes, guys, big thank you for everyone who tuned in for this stream. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. We'll be back in a few hours' time for quali. I'm going to go grab some lunch. Suggest you do the same. Top up. Get yourself prepped, because qualifying is going to be really interesting this afternoon. And let's see. Can Lando Norris stick it on pole position? Where will his championship rival, Max Verstappen, qualify in that Red Bull? Let's see. Lots of things to find out. Thank you for the subs, guys. Have a lovely lunchtime, and yeah, we'll catch you in a few hours. Cheers, guys. Bye.